Imagine living a life where nothing disrupts your inner peace, where you're unaffected by insults, challenges, or the chaos that surrounds you. What would it feel like to wake up every day with a sense of calm so profound that no external event could shake you? This isn't an unattainable ideal, it's a state of mind that can be cultivated, nurtured, and lived. It's about building a sanctuary within yourself, one that remains untouched by the turbulence of the outside world. How empowering would it be to possess such unshakable tranquility? In the teachings of Buddhism, this inner peace is not a gift bestowed upon a select few. It is a skill, a practice, and a way of being that anyone can develop. It begins with a simple yet profound understanding. True peace comes from within. This wisdom, shared by the Buddha himself, reminds us that seeking happiness, contentment, or stability outside ourselves is a futile endeavor. The external world is ever-changing, unpredictable, and often beyond our control. The only constant, the only true refuge, is within. Today we'll delve into 10 transformative Buddhist principles that serve as a guide to cultivating this state of inner peace. These principles, rooted in timeless wisdom, have the power to shift your perspective, heal your heart, and quiet your mind. They are not merely concepts to ponder, but practices to live by, steps on a path that leads to a calmer, more centered you. Picture for a moment a monk sitting serenely beneath a tree, eyes closed, while a storm rages around him. This image is not just a metaphor, but a representation of what is possible when we master the art of inner calm. Insults lose their sting, challenges become opportunities for growth, and chaos becomes a mere backdrop to a mind that remains steady and composed. But how do we get there? How do we bridge the gap between the restless mind and the stillness we crave? The answer lies in these principles, guidelines that illuminate the path to self-awareness, compassion, and equanimity. They invite us to pause, reflect, and realign with what truly matters. As we journey through these principles together, remember that this is not about perfection. It's not about erasing emotions or denying life's difficulties. Instead, it's about learning to respond to life with grace and wisdom rather than reacting out of fear or frustration. It's about embracing the messiness of life with a heart full of acceptance and a mind grounded in clarity. Buddha's words resonate deeply here. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it outside. This timeless teaching is both a challenge and an invitation. It challenges us to let go of the distractions that keep us tethered to external validation and invites us to turn inward, to cultivate the peace that is already within us, waiting to be discovered. So, let's embark on this journey together. Let's uncover the tools, insights, and practices that can transform your life from one of constant striving and stress to one of calm, balance, and profound inner peace. Are you ready to take the first step? Principle 1. Insults and offenses. In Buddhism, we are reminded that insults, offenses, and hurtful words only have power over us if we allow them to. It is not the words themselves that harm us, but our attachment to them, our willingness to let them take root in our minds. Imagine this. Someone throws a rock into a calm, serene pond. Initially, the water ripples in response to the disturbance, but after a moment, it naturally returns to its still, undisturbed state. Similarly, when we encounter insults or harsh words, we can choose how long we allow them to ripple through our minds before restoring our inner calm. This analogy of the pond offers a profound lesson. The ability to let go and return to stillness lies within us. While the initial ripple, a brief moment of discomfort, is natural, what happens next is entirely our choice. Will we cling to the disturbance, allowing it to grow into a storm, or will we release it, letting the water settle again? Buddha's teaching on this topic is both enlightening and liberating. He said, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." This statement serves as a powerful reminder of the self-destructive nature of clinging to anger and resentment. When someone insults us, the hurtful words often stem from their own inner turmoil, insecurities, or struggles. Yet, when we hold on to the anger sparked by their words, it is not they who suffer, it is us. In essence, by harboring resentment, we harm ourselves far more than the original insult ever could. Let's explore this idea more deeply. When someone directs negativity toward us, it is easy to take it personally. Our ego may flare up, demanding justice, validation, or even retaliation. But here's the truth. Most of the time, their words have little to do with us and everything to do with them. Their words and actions are often a reflection of their own internal state, a mirror of their own frustrations, pain, or misunderstandings. Realizing this can be transformative. It allows us to view the situation from a place of compassion rather than defensiveness. When someone insults us, we might ask ourselves, what pain must this person be carrying to speak this way? This question shifts our perspective, turning the focus away from our hurt feelings and toward an understanding of their suffering. Such a shift not only diffuses our anger, but also strengthens our capacity for empathy and kindness. Rather than reacting with hostility, we can respond with patience and compassion, recognizing that their words are more about their struggles than about us. In this way, we reclaim our inner peace. We learn not to let others' negativity disrupt the stillness of our minds. Imagine a scenario where someone hurls an insult at you, and instead of reacting with anger, you simply let the words pass through you, like wind passing through the leaves of a tree. You hear them, you acknowledge them, but you do not hold on to them. This practice is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending not to care. It's about understanding that you have the power to choose your response. Cultivating this ability requires practice. One powerful tool in Buddhism for managing these situations is mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, we can observe our emotions as they arise without being overwhelmed by them. When an insult triggers anger or hurt, mindfulness allows us to notice these feelings without identifying with them. We might think, "I am feeling anger right now," rather than, "I am angry." This subtle shift reminds us that emotions are temporary. They come and go like passing clouds in the sky. Another helpful practice is meditation. Regular meditation strengthens our ability to remain calm and centered, even in challenging situations. It teaches us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, creating a sense of spaciousness within our minds. This spaciousness acts as a buffer, giving us the clarity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Over time, meditation helps us cultivate equanimity, a state of mental calmness and balance that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. It is also worth reflecting on the impermanence of all things, a central teaching in Buddhism. Insults, like all experiences, are fleeting. The sting of a hurtful comment may feel sharp in the moment, but it will fade, just as the ripples in the pond eventually disappear. By remembering the transient nature of insults, we can find it easier to let them go, knowing that they do not define us or have lasting power over our lives. Consider also the principle of self-compassion. When we are insulted, it's natural to feel wounded, but we must not add to our suffering by criticizing ourselves for feeling hurt. Instead, we can treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a close friend in a similar situation. Self-compassion helps us heal more quickly and prevents us from internalizing the negativity directed at us. Ultimately, the goal is not to suppress our emotions or become indifferent to the world around us. Rather, it is to develop the strength and wisdom to remain grounded in the face of life's challenges. By doing so, we protect our inner peace and cultivate a resilience that allows us to navigate even the most difficult situations with grace. Imagine living your life as that calm pond, momentarily rippled but always returning to stillness. You encounter challenges, criticisms, and chaos, but they no longer define you or dictate your state of mind. Instead, you remain anchored in a profound sense of peace, knowing that no external force can truly disturb the sanctuary you have built within. As you practice letting go of insults and offenses, remember Buddha's timeless wisdom. Holding on to anger harms no one but yourself. By releasing the grip of resentment, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and open the door to a life of greater compassion, clarity, and calm. So the next time someone throws a rock into your pond, take a deep breath, let the ripples come and go, and trust in your ability to return to stillness again and again. Principle 2. Transform everyone into a teacher. In Buddhism, we are encouraged to view every person we meet as a teacher, whether they inspire joy or bring challenges. This perspective shifts our understanding of relationships and interactions, allowing us to see value even in the most difficult experiences. Each encounter, no matter how pleasant or painful, offers us an opportunity to grow. It invites us to approach life with curiosity, humility, and an open heart. This idea is rooted in the interconnected nature of all beings. As Buddha wisely taught, when you take care of yourself, you take care of others. When you take care of others, you take care of yourself. This teaching highlights the reciprocal relationship we share with others and reminds us that our growth is not isolated. It is intricately linked to the lives of those around us. By viewing others as our teachers, we cultivate a mindset that is both compassionate and resilient. Learning from joy and kindness. When we meet people who bring joy, kindness, or inspiration into our lives, their presence can teach us gratitude and appreciation. It's easy to take positive interactions for granted, but when we consciously recognize them as lessons, they deepen our sense of connection and happiness. For instance, a kind word from a stranger might remind us of the power of small acts of kindness. A loved one's support can teach us the value of loyalty and care. These interactions also encourage us to reflect on how we can embody the qualities we admire in others. If someone's patience inspires us, it becomes a lesson in cultivating patience within ourselves. If their generosity touches us, it serves as a reminder of the impact our own generosity can have. In this way, the joy we experience through others becomes a guide for our own behavior. Turning challenges into growth. While it's easy to learn from kindness and joy, the real test lies in finding lessons in negativity and adversity. When someone is unkind or hurtful, our immediate reaction is often defensiveness or anger. However, Buddhism invites us to pause and ask, what is this person teaching me? This question transforms the situation from one of conflict to one of self-discovery. For example, if someone criticizes us harshly, it may be an opportunity to practice patience and humility. If their actions trigger feelings of hurt, we might learn to explore those emotions and better understand ourselves. These interactions challenge us to step outside of our egos and view the situation from a broader perspective. Instead of reacting with resentment, we can respond with curiosity and compassion. One of the most powerful lessons we can learn from challenging interactions is forgiveness. Holding on to anger or grudges only deepens our suffering. But when we see others as teachers, even in their unkindness, we can begin to let go of resentment. Their actions become a mirror, reflecting back the areas where we need to grow, whether it's in patience, understanding, or self-control. Embracing humility and open-mindedness. Viewing everyone as a teacher also fosters humility. It reminds us that we are not always the ones with the answers. Even someone we might consider less experienced or less wise can offer profound insights. This openness allows us to approach each interaction without judgment or preconceived notions. For instance, a child's innocent perspective might remind us of the importance of simplicity and wonder. A colleague's different approach to problem-solving can teach us creativity. Even someone whose values differ from our own can help us clarify our beliefs and strengthen our understanding of what truly matters to us. When we view others as teachers, we naturally become less reactive and more receptive. Instead of seeing negativity as a personal attack, we can see it as part of the other person's journey, a reflection of their struggles, fears, or misunderstandings. This shift in perspective reduces the power of negativity to disturb our peace and keeps us centered. The interconnected nature of teaching and learning. Buddha's teaching, when you take care of yourself, you take care of others. When you take care of others, you take care of yourself, highlights the profound interconnectedness of teaching and learning. By being open to the lessons others offer, we grow not only for ourselves, but also for the benefit of those around us. When we learn patience, we become more patient with others. When we develop compassion, we create a ripple effect of kindness. Conversely, when we share our growth with others, whether through listening, helping, or simply being present, we become their teachers as well. This reciprocal relationship ensures that every interaction, no matter how small, contributes to the collective well-being of the world. Practical ways to see others as teachers. 1. Pause and reflect. When faced with a difficult interaction, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? This simple question shifts your focus from blame to growth. 2. Cultivate empathy. Try to understand the other person's perspective. What might they be going through that led to their behavior? This doesn't excuse harmful actions, but helps you respond with compassion rather than anger. 3. Practice gratitude. Recognize the lessons others offer, whether they bring joy or challenges. Gratitude for these lessons reinforces your openness to learning. 4. Meditate on interconnectedness. In meditation, reflect on how your actions and reactions influence others and how their behavior influences you. This practice deepens your awareness of the mutual exchange of teaching and learning. 5. Embrace humility. Remind yourself that everyone has something to teach you, regardless of their age, status, or background. Approach interactions with a sense of curiosity and respect, transforming interactions into opportunities. By adopting the mindset that everyone is a teacher, every interaction becomes an opportunity for growth. A friend's encouragement may teach us gratitude. A stranger's rudeness may teach us patience. A loved one's vulnerability may teach us compassion. In this way, life itself becomes a classroom, with every person we meet as a valuable guide. Imagine living with this perspective. Instead of feeling weighed down by negativity or conflict, you feel empowered by the lessons they offer. Instead of seeing others as adversaries or obstacles, you see them as partners in your journey toward greater understanding and peace. Building resilience through learning. This approach not only helps us grow, but also strengthens our resilience. When we see challenges as opportunities, we are less likely to be overwhelmed by them. We learn to navigate life with grace, responding to difficulties with wisdom rather than reactivity. Over time, this resilience becomes a source of inner strength, allowing us to face even the toughest situations with equanimity. A life of growth and connection. Ultimately, viewing everyone as a teacher enriches our lives. It deepens our relationships, broadens our perspectives, and fosters a sense of connection with the world around us. It reminds us that we are all students and teachers, learning and growing together. As you move through your day, try to see each person you encounter as a teacher. What can you learn from them? How can their actions or words help you grow? With this mindset, even the most ordinary moments can become profound opportunities for transformation. In the words of Buddha, when you take care of yourself, you take care of others. When you take care of others, you take care of yourself. By embracing this truth, we not only nurture our own growth, but also contribute to a more compassionate and harmonious world. Principle 3. Transform envy into emulation. Envy is a natural human emotion. It arises when we perceive that someone else has something we desire: success, qualities, relationships, or possessions. However, Buddhism offers us a transformative perspective on envy, encouraging us to see it not as a source of suffering, but as an opportunity for growth. Instead of allowing envy to consume us, we can turn it into emulation, an admiration that inspires self-improvement. Imagine seeing someone excel in a skill you wish you had, or witnessing their personal success. Envy, left unchecked, might make us feel inferior or resentful. But Buddhism invites us to pause and reflect. What can I learn from this person? How can their success inspire me? This shift in perspective transforms envy into a positive force that propels us forward, rather than a weight that drags us down. As the Buddha wisely taught, do not be jealous of others' good qualities, but out of admiration, adopt them yourself. These words remind us that admiration and jealousy are two sides of the same coin. The choice is ours. We can either let envy breed negativity and self-doubt, or we can let admiration fuel our motivation to grow and improve. The nature of envy. To understand how to transform envy, we first need to explore its nature. Envy often stems from a sense of lack or insecurity within ourselves. When we see others succeeding, their achievements highlight areas where we feel inadequate. This comparison triggers feelings of discontent, which can spiral into resentment if left unchecked. However, envy is not inherently bad. Like any emotion, it carries valuable information about our inner world. Envy reveals what we value and aspire to. If we can approach it mindfully, we can use it as a guide to better understand our goals and desires. For example, if you feel envious of a friend's career success, it might indicate that you value professional achievement. If you envy someone's kindness or charisma, it could mean you admire those traits and wish to cultivate them within yourself. By identifying the root of our envy, we can turn it into a source of inspiration. Turning envy into emulation. The key to transforming envy is to shift our focus from comparison to emulation. Instead of feeling diminished by someone else's success, we can see it as a reminder of what's possible and as a roadmap for our own growth. Here's how to cultivate this mindset. 1. Practice mindfulness. When envy arises, pause and observe it without judgment. Acknowledge the emotion and its source. Ask yourself, what specifically am I envious of? What does this feeling tell me about my own values and aspirations? By observing envy mindfully, you create space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Second, shift to admiration. Recognize that the qualities or achievements you envy in others are admirable. Celebrate their success and use it as an example of what is possible. Admiration opens the door to learning. Instead of feeling bad about yourself, you can feel inspired by what they've accomplished. 3. Learn from their success. Once you've identified what you admire, ask yourself, what can I learn from this person? What steps did they take to achieve their success? How can I apply their strategies or qualities in my own life? Viewing others as teachers transforms envy into an opportunity for personal growth. 4. Focus on your journey. Remember that everyone's path is unique. Comparing yourself to others is like comparing apples to oranges. Their circumstances, opportunities, and challenges differ from yours. Instead of dwelling on where you fall short, focus on your progress and how you can continue to grow. 5. Cultivate gratitude. Envy often narrows our focus, making us fixate on what we lack. Gratitude broadens our perspective, reminding us of the blessings and strengths we already have. By practicing gratitude, we can appreciate our journey while still striving for improvement. The benefits of emulation. Transforming envy into emulation has profound benefits for both our mental and emotional well-being. It allows us to stay positive. Envy breeds negativity, while admiration fosters positivity. By focusing on admiration, we cultivate a mindset that uplifts rather than drags us down. Build resilience. Emulation encourages self-improvement without self-criticism. It helps us view challenges as opportunities for growth, making us more resilient in the face of setbacks. Strengthen relationships. Envy can create distance between us and others, but admiration strengthens bonds. When we genuinely celebrate others' successes, we foster deeper connections and mutual respect. Enhance self-confidence. Emulation shifts the focus from what we lack to what we can achieve. By learning from others, we build confidence in our ability to grow and improve. Letting go of comparisons. One of the greatest sources of envy is the habit of comparing ourselves to others. Social media, professional settings, and even casual conversations often tempt us to measure our worth against others' achievements. Buddhism teaches that comparisons are futile, as they ignore the unique nature of each person's journey. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. By focusing on your own growth, you free yourself from the cycle of comparison and envy. Embracing joy for others. A powerful antidote to envy is mudita, a Buddhist concept often translated as sympathetic joy or joy for others. Mudita is the practice of feeling genuine happiness for others' successes and well-being. It shifts our mindset from competition to collaboration, reminding us that another person's success does not diminish our own. Practicing mudita requires conscious effort, especially when envy arises. Start small. The next time you feel envious, take a moment to silently wish the other person well. Over time, this practice becomes a natural response, replacing envy with joy and connection. A path of growth and positivity. Imagine living a life where envy no longer holds power over you, a life where you view others' successes as inspiration rather than threats. By transforming envy into emulation, you can stay positive and focused on your own growth. You learn to admire and adopt the qualities you value, turning every interaction into an opportunity for self-improvement. As Buddha's wisdom reminds us, do not be jealous of others' good qualities, but out of admiration, adopt them yourself. This teaching invites us to approach life with humility, curiosity, and a willingness to learn. It reminds us that our journey is not about being better than others, but about becoming the best version of ourselves. So the next time envy stirs within you, take a deep breath. Let it guide you toward what you value and inspire you to grow. Celebrate others' successes, knowing they illuminate the path for your own. By transforming envy into emulation, you not only uplift yourself, but also contribute to a more joyful and compassionate world. Principle 4. Be strict with yourself, but tolerant of others. Buddhism offers a profound teaching that invites us to hold ourselves to high standards while extending tolerance and understanding to others. This dual approach balances personal growth with compassion, allowing us to strive for excellence without becoming harsh or judgmental toward those around us. It's a way of living that cultivates both self-discipline and empathy, fostering inner peace and harmonious relationships. As the Buddha wisely said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." These words remind us that while self-discipline and striving for personal growth are essential, they must be rooted in self-compassion. This foundation of love for ourselves extends outward, enabling us to approach others with patience and understanding. Holding ourselves to high standards. The idea of holding ourselves to high standards is not about perfectionism or being overly critical of ourselves. Instead, it is about recognizing our potential and committing to growth. It's about setting meaningful goals, developing discipline, and consistently working to improve our character, skills, and mindset. Striving for personal excellence helps us build self-respect. When we live in alignment with our values, we feel a sense of integrity and fulfillment. For example, if we value honesty, holding ourselves to a high standard means being truthful even when it's difficult. If we value kindness, it means making an effort to act with compassion even in challenging situations. Self-discipline plays a crucial role in this process. In Buddhism, discipline is seen as a path to liberation rather than a restriction. It frees us from the chaos of impulsive desires and unskillful habits, allowing us to live more intentionally. By holding ourselves to high standards, we cultivate qualities like patience, resilience, and focus, which help us navigate life's challenges with grace. However, it's important to balance self-discipline with self-compassion. Being strict with ourselves does not mean being unkind. If we stumble or make mistakes, we must forgive ourselves and learn from the experience. As Buddha's teaching reminds us, we are as deserving of love and understanding as anyone else. Self-compassion prevents us from falling into self-criticism and keeps us motivated to continue our journey of growth. Being tolerant of others' faults. While we strive for personal excellence, Buddhism teaches us to approach others with tolerance and empathy. This means accepting that people are on their own unique paths, each facing their own challenges, limitations, and growth opportunities. Just as we need compassion for ourselves, we must extend the same grace to others. When we focus on others' faults, it's easy to fall into judgment or frustration. However, Buddhism encourages us to shift our perspective. Instead of fixating on what others are doing wrong, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this situation? Or, how can I respond with understanding? This mindset fosters patience and helps us build stronger, more compassionate relationships. For example, if someone acts rudely or makes a mistake, being tolerant means recognizing that their behavior may stem from stress, ignorance, or personal struggles rather than malice. This doesn't mean excusing harmful actions, but it allows us to respond with empathy rather than anger. Tolerance also involves letting go of the need to control or change others. Everyone grows at their own pace, and it's not our role to dictate how or when they should improve. By focusing on our own growth while accepting others as they are, we free ourselves from unnecessary frustration and cultivate a sense of peace. The balance between self-discipline and tolerance. This balanced approach, being strict with ourselves while tolerant of others, creates a harmonious way of living. It fosters both personal development and meaningful connections with those around us. When we hold ourselves to high standards, we focus on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and choices. This empowers us to take responsibility for our lives and continue evolving. At the same time, being tolerant of others' faults prevents us from becoming overly critical or reactive, helping us maintain calm and understanding in our interactions. This balance also reflects the Buddhist principle of equanimity, or maintaining a steady and composed mind regardless of external circumstances. By practicing self-discipline and tolerance, we remain unaffected by others' actions or mistakes. Instead of being swept up in judgment or frustration, we stay grounded in our own values and intentions. Practical ways to cultivate this balance. 1. Set personal goals. Define what personal excellence looks like for you. What qualities or habits do you want to cultivate? Create specific, achievable goals to guide your growth and hold yourself accountable. 2. Practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your actions and choices. Are they aligned with your values and standards? Celebrate your progress and identify areas for improvement with kindness and honesty. 3. Develop empathy. When others make mistakes or act in ways that challenge you, try to understand their perspective. What might they be going through? This practice helps you respond with patience and compassion. Let go of judgment. Remind yourself that everyone is on their own journey, and it's not your place to judge or control their progress. Focus on your own growth instead of comparing yourself to others. 5. Cultivate equanimity. Through mindfulness and meditation, practice staying calm and composed in the face of challenges. This helps you maintain balance between self-discipline and tolerance. The benefits of this approach. By holding ourselves to high standards and being tolerant of others, we create a life that is both disciplined and compassionate. This approach allows us to grow personally. Self-discipline leads to continuous improvement, helping us become the best versions of ourselves. Build strong relationships. Tolerance and empathy foster deeper connections and reduce conflicts in our interactions with others. Maintain inner peace. By focusing on our own growth and accepting others as they are, we free ourselves from the stress of comparison and judgment. Inspire others. Leading by example inspires those around us to grow and strive for their own potential. A life of harmony and growth. Buddhism teaches us that we are responsible for our own growth, but we must approach others with patience and kindness. This wisdom creates a life of balance, a life where we work toward personal excellence while fostering harmonious relationships with those around us. As you walk this path, remember the Buddha's teaching. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. By treating yourself with kindness and extending that same compassion to others, you create a life filled with both personal fulfillment and meaningful connections. Embrace this balanced approach, and you'll discover that self-discipline and tolerance are not opposites, but partners in building a harmonious, compassionate, and centered life. Principle 5. No one can hurt you. Buddhism teaches a powerful principle. No one can truly hurt us without our consent. While others' actions or words may be unpleasant or even harmful, how we internalize and respond to them is entirely under our control. This teaching shifts the focus from blaming external circumstances to cultivating our own inner strength and resilience. It empowers us to take full responsibility for our emotional well-being, offering a path to true freedom and peace. As the Buddha wisely said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." This statement serves as a reminder that the key to our happiness and inner peace lies within us. External factors, no matter how challenging, do not have the power to disrupt our serenity unless we allow them to. By developing a strong sense of self and nurturing our inner peace, we can navigate life's storms with grace and composure. The nature of emotional pain. To understand this principle, we must first explore the nature of emotional pain. When someone says or does something hurtful, the initial sting we feel is natural. It's a reflexive response to perceived harm. However, the deeper and more lasting pain often comes not from the action itself, but from how we process and hold on to it. For instance, if someone insults us, their words may hurt in the moment. But the prolonged suffering comes from replaying the insult in our minds, attaching meaning to it, and allowing it to affect our self-worth. This is where our consent comes into play. By choosing not to internalize the negativity, we can prevent it from taking root in our minds and causing lasting harm. Building inner strength. The key to resilience lies in cultivating inner strength, a steadfast sense of self that remains unshaken by external events. Imagine a tree standing firm against a strong wind. While its branches may bend, its deep roots keep it grounded and unbroken. Similarly, when we develop inner resilience, we can face life's challenges without being overwhelmed. Building inner strength requires consistent practice and self-awareness. Here are some ways to cultivate this resilience. 1. Meditation. Meditation is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice and an invaluable tool for strengthening the mind. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. This detachment creates a sense of spaciousness within us, allowing us to respond to challenges with clarity rather than reactivity. Over time, meditation fosters a calm and centered state of mind that is less susceptible to external negativity. 2. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. When we are mindful, we can observe external events and our internal reactions without judgment. For example, if someone says something hurtful, mindfulness helps us recognize the initial emotional response without letting it spiral into anger or resentment. By staying present, we can choose a response that aligns with our values and inner peace. 3. Self-reflection. Regular self-reflection allows us to examine our thoughts, beliefs, and reactions. It helps us identify patterns of negativity or blame that may be holding us back. Through honest self-reflection, we can take responsibility for our emotions and make conscious choices about how we respond to external events. 4th, loving kindness practice. Practicing loving kindness, or metta, involves cultivating goodwill and compassion toward ourselves and others. By extending kindness even to those who hurt us, we break the cycle of negativity and strengthen our inner resilience. Loving kindness reminds us that others' actions often stem from their own suffering, helping us respond with empathy rather than anger. Taking responsibility for our well-being. Understanding that no one can hurt us without our consent empowers us to take responsibility for our own happiness. This doesn't mean denying the reality of pain or suppressing our emotions. Instead, it means recognizing that while pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Suffering arises when we cling to the pain, replay it in our minds, or attach it to our sense of self. By taking responsibility for our reactions, we reclaim our power. We stop blaming others for our emotional state and focus instead on building the inner resources needed to maintain peace and balance. This shift in perspective is liberating. It frees us from the grip of external circumstances and places the control firmly in our own hands. Responding to life's challenges. Life is full of challenges, and it's natural to feel hurt or upset at times. However, how we respond to these challenges determines whether they become a source of growth or prolonged suffering. By practicing the following steps, we can navigate difficulties with resilience and wisdom. 1. Pause and breathe. When faced with a hurtful situation, take a moment to pause and breathe. This simple act creates a space between the event and your reaction, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. 2. Observe your emotions. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment. It's okay to feel hurt, angry, or disappointed. By observing these emotions, you prevent them from taking control and clouding your judgment. 3. Detach from the event. Remind yourself that the event itself does not define you. Separate your sense of self from the actions or words of others. This detachment helps you maintain perspective and reduces the emotional impact. Choose your response. Ask yourself, what response aligns with my values and inner peace? Whether it's letting go, setting boundaries, or addressing the issue calmly, choose a course of action that reflects your inner strength. 5. Reflect and learn. After the situation has passed, take time to reflect on what you learned. Did it reveal an area for personal growth? Did it strengthen your resilience? Viewing challenges as opportunities for learning helps you approach future difficulties with greater confidence. The freedom of inner peace. When we understand that no one can hurt us without our consent, we experience a profound sense of freedom. We realize that our happiness and peace are not dependent on external factors, but are within our control. This realization empowers us to face life's ups and downs with equanimity, knowing that we have the strength to remain centered regardless of circumstances. Inner peace does not mean avoiding pain or challenges. Rather, it means developing the resilience to move through them without being consumed. It means bending like the tree in the wind, flexible but unbroken. By cultivating inner strength and taking responsibility for our well-being, we create a foundation of peace that remains steady in the face of life's storms. Living a resilient and empowered life. Imagine living a life where external negativity no longer has the power to disturb your inner calm. By practicing meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection, you strengthen your inner core, making it unshakable. You learn to respond to challenges with grace, turning them into opportunities for growth rather than sources of suffering. As the Buddha taught, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. These words remind us that the journey to inner peace is ours to take. By embracing this responsibility, we reclaim our power and find the freedom to live a serene, resilient, and empowered life. Principle 6. The power of acceptance. Acceptance is one of the most transformative practices in Buddhism. It is not about resignation or passivity. Rather, it is a conscious choice to embrace reality as it is without resistance or judgment. By doing so, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and find the clarity to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. The Buddha's teaching, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be, captures the essence of this practice. It encourages us to live in harmony with the present moment, release attachments to the past, and trust in the unfolding of life's journey. Acceptance, in this sense, is not about giving up, but about cultivating inner peace and resilience. The nature of acceptance. At its core, acceptance is about acknowledging the truth of the present moment. This truth may include difficult emotions, challenging situations, or imperfections in ourselves and others. Resistance to reality often leads to frustration and suffering because we expend energy trying to control what is beyond our power. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to redirect that energy toward positive action and growth. Imagine being caught in a sudden rainstorm. You can fight against it, complaining, feeling upset, or refusing to leave until the rain stops. Or you can accept it, adapt, and find joy, even in the storm. Acceptance doesn't mean you love the rain, but it means you stop resisting it, and instead find a way to move forward. Acceptance of situations. Life is unpredictable, and not everything will go as planned. When we resist what happens, we create tension and prolong our suffering. Acceptance involves letting go of this resistance and facing reality with an open heart and mind. This doesn't mean we become complacent or passive. Acceptance is the first step toward effective action. For instance, if you face a setback at work, resisting the situation might lead to frustration or denial. Acceptance, however, allows you to see the situation clearly and take constructive steps to move forward. Consider the metaphor of a river. Fighting against the current will exhaust you, while accepting its flow enables you to steer your boat more effectively. Similarly, in life, acceptance helps us conserve our energy for meaningful action rather than wasting it on resistance. Acceptance of people. Practicing acceptance in relationships can transform how we connect with others. People are inherently imperfect, and expecting them to conform to our ideals often leads to disappointment and conflict. Acceptance involves recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, complete with their strengths and flaws. When we accept others as they are, we foster deeper compassion and understanding. This doesn't mean we ignore harmful behavior or tolerate abuse, but it does mean we approach others with empathy rather than judgment. For example, if a friend or loved one has a habit that irritates you, acceptance helps you focus on the positive aspects of the relationship rather than dwelling on the negatives. This approach strengthens bonds and creates a supportive environment where everyone feels valued. By letting go of the need to control or change others, we open ourselves to more genuine and harmonious connections. Acceptance of self. One of the most profound aspects of acceptance is learning to accept ourselves. We all have flaws, make mistakes, and experience moments of doubt or insecurity. The practice of self-acceptance invites us to embrace these imperfections with kindness and compassion. Buddhism teaches that self-criticism and self-judgment only add to our suffering. When we accept ourselves as we are, we create space for growth and healing. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement, but that we do so from a foundation of self-love rather than self-loathing. Self-acceptance also helps us let go of comparison. Instead of measuring ourselves against others, we learn to appreciate our unique path and progress. This fosters a sense of peace and contentment, allowing us to live more authentically and joyfully. The role of compassion in acceptance. Acceptance naturally leads to compassion for ourselves, for others, and for life as a whole. When we stop resisting reality, we develop a deeper understanding of the struggles and imperfections that are part of the human experience. This understanding fosters empathy, patience, and a genuine desire to support others. For example, when we accept someone's flaws, we can better see their humanity and the challenges they face. This shift in perspective helps us respond with kindness rather than judgment, strengthening our relationships and creating a more compassionate environment. Compassion also extends to ourselves. By accepting our mistakes and limitations, we free ourselves from the burden of perfectionism and learn to treat ourselves with the same care we would offer a dear friend. The balance between acceptance and striving. Acceptance does not mean giving up on improvement or progress. On the contrary, it provides a stable foundation from which we can strive for change. When we accept the present moment, we see it clearly, without the distortions of resistance or denial. This clarity enables us to take wise and effective action. For instance, if you are facing a health challenge, acceptance allows you to acknowledge the reality of the situation without falling into despair. From this place of acceptance, you can explore ways to improve your well-being, whether through lifestyle changes, seeking medical care, or cultivating a positive mindset. The balance between acceptance and striving is key. While acceptance grounds us in the present, striving inspires us to grow and evolve. Together, they create a harmonious approach to life that is both peaceful and purposeful. Practical ways to cultivate acceptance. 1. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us stay present and observe reality without judgment. By being fully aware of each moment, we can practice accepting things as they are, rather than wishing they were different. 2. Meditate on impermanence. Reflecting on the impermanence of all things helps us let go of resistance. When we understand that everything is temporary, we become more willing to accept life's changes and uncertainties. Third challenge, judgmental thoughts. Notice when you judge yourself, others, or situations. Ask yourself, is this judgment helpful? Can I approach this with curiosity and compassion instead? 4. Practice gratitude. Focusing on what you appreciate in the present moment helps shift your perspective from resistance to acceptance. Gratitude fosters a sense of peace and contentment, even in challenging times. 5. Embrace letting go. Letting go of what we cannot control is a cornerstone of acceptance. Practice releasing attachments to outcomes or expectations and trust in the flow of life. The benefits of acceptance. Practicing acceptance has profound benefits for both our inner peace and our relationships. It allows us to reduce suffering. By letting go of resistance, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain and frustration. Foster inner peace. Acceptance helps us remain calm and composed, even in difficult situations. Strengthen relationships. Accepting others as they are deepens our compassion and connection. Cultivate resilience. When we embrace life's ups and downs, we become more adaptable and capable of handling challenges. Live authentically. Acceptance allows us to be present and engaged, savoring life as it unfolds. Embracing the present moment. Acceptance is not about avoiding challenges or ignoring difficulties. It is about meeting life as it is, with an open heart and a steady mind. By accepting the present moment, we reduce our suffering and find the strength to navigate life's inevitable changes. As the Buddha taught, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. These words invite us to live with grace and trust, embracing the beauty and impermanence of life. Through acceptance, we discover a profound sense of freedom, allowing us to live more fully, joyfully, and harmoniously. Principle 7. Living according to nature. Living in harmony with nature and its rhythms is a cornerstone of a grounded and peaceful life. Nature, with its cycles and patterns, offers profound lessons about balance, impermanence, and interconnectedness. By aligning our lives with these natural rhythms, we cultivate not only physical and mental well-being, but also a deeper sense of connection to ourselves, the world around us, and the greater flow of life. As the Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, man cannot live without a spiritual life. This wisdom reminds us that just as fire fuels a candle, our connection to the natural and spiritual world fuels our lives. Nature, in its simplicity and wisdom, provides the framework for a life of mindfulness, harmony, and spiritual growth. Aligning with nature's rhythms. Living in tune with nature begins with observing and embracing its cycles. The rising and setting of the sun, the changing of the seasons, and the ebb and flow of life are all reminders of the natural order. When we align ourselves with these rhythms, we experience a sense of balance and harmony. For instance, waking with the sunrise and resting when the day ends mirrors nature's cycle of activity and rest. This practice supports our body's natural circadian rhythm, promoting better sleep, higher energy levels, and overall well-being. Similarly, observing the changing seasons teaches us the value of adaptability. Spring's growth, summer's abundance, autumn's letting go, and winter's stillness are metaphors for the cycles we experience in our own lives. By attuning ourselves to these natural patterns, we also learn to flow with life rather than resist it. We understand that growth and decay, joy and sorrow, beginnings and endings are all part of the same cycle. This awareness fosters resilience, helping us navigate challenges with greater ease and acceptance. The interconnectedness of life-nature teaches us that all life is interconnected. Every tree, river, animal, and human being is part of a vast web of existence. Recognizing this interconnectedness deepens our sense of responsibility for the world and our place in it. For example, the air we breathe is produced by plants, while the food we eat is nurtured by the earth. This mutual dependence reminds us that our actions have consequences beyond ourselves. By living in harmony with nature, we honor this interconnection and take steps to protect and preserve the environment. This interconnectedness also inspires gratitude. When we pause to appreciate the sunrise, listen to birdsong, or feel the earth beneath our feet, we reconnect with the world's beauty and abundance. Gratitude for these simple gifts shifts our focus from scarcity to sufficiency, reducing stress and fostering contentment. The benefits of living naturally. Living in alignment with nature benefits every aspect of our well-being, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Here's how integrating natural rhythms into our lives enhances our overall health. 1. Improved physical health. Spending time outdoors, breathing fresh air, and soaking in natural sunlight support our physical health. Activities like walking in nature, gardening, or hiking strengthen our bodies while calming our minds. Eating whole, seasonal foods nourishes us more effectively than processed alternatives, further aligning our diet with nature's wisdom. 2. Reduced stress and anxiety. Nature has a calming effect on the mind. The sights and sounds of the natural world, rustling leaves, flowing water, or the warmth of the sun, help reduce stress and anxiety. Studies have shown that spending time in green spaces lowers cortisol levels and improves mood. 3. Increased mindfulness. Nature invites us to slow down and be present. Whether it's watching the waves of the ocean, observing the intricate patterns of a flower, or feeling the wind on our skin, nature engages our senses and grounds us in the present moment. This mindfulness enhances our ability to cope with life's challenges and savor its joys. 4. Fostering simplicity. The natural world thrives on simplicity. By observing nature, we learn to focus on what truly matters, letting go of unnecessary complexities and materialistic distractions. This simplicity brings clarity and frees us from the artificial stresses of modern life. Respecting and protecting nature. Living according to nature also means respecting and protecting the environment. Recognizing that we are stewards of the earth inspires us to adopt sustainable practices and reduce our ecological footprint. This might include reducing waste, conserving resources, or supporting eco-friendly initiatives. When we take care of the planet, we also take care of ourselves. Clean air, pure water, and healthy ecosystems are essential for our survival and well-being. By living harmoniously with nature, we contribute to a healthier world for future generations. Nature as a teacher. Nature offers endless wisdom to those who pay attention. For example, the cycles of growth, decay, and renewal teach us about the impermanence of life. Just as the trees shed their leaves in autumn, we are reminded to let go of what no longer serves us. Just as new flowers bloom in spring, we see that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Similarly, the resilience of nature inspires us. A tree that withstands strong winds by bending rather than breaking teaches us the value of flexibility. The steady flow of a river, carving its path through obstacles, reminds us of the power of persistence. By observing these lessons, we gain insight into our own lives and the challenges we face. Nature becomes both a mirror and a guide, helping us find strength, wisdom, and peace. Practical ways to live in harmony with nature. 1. Spend time outdoors. Make it a habit to connect with nature daily, whether through a walk, gardening, or simply sitting under a tree. These moments ground you and foster a sense of connection. 2. Align your routine with natural rhythms. Try waking with the sunrise and winding down as the sun sets. This alignment supports your body's natural rhythms and promotes better sleep and energy. 3. Eat seasonally and sustainably. Choose whole, seasonal foods that nourish your body and support local ecosystems. Reducing processed foods helps align your diet with nature. Practice gratitude for nature. Pause to appreciate the beauty around you, the sky, the trees, the earth. Gratitude deepens your connection to the natural world. 5. Adopt eco-friendly practices. Conserve resources, reduce waste, and support initiatives that protect the environment. These actions reflect your respect for the planet. Finding solace in nature. By living in harmony with nature, we cultivate a sense of peace that is unaffected by life's complexities. The natural world reminds us to focus on essentials, to embrace change, and to find beauty in simplicity. It teaches us that we are not separate from the world around us, but deeply connected to it. Integrating nature's rhythms into our daily lives fosters resilience, gratitude, and balance. It helps us let go of artificial stresses and reconnect with our true selves. As we align with the wisdom of the natural world, we discover a life that is not only healthier, but also more fulfilling and joyful. In the words of the Buddha, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, man cannot live without a spiritual life. Nature, with its rhythms and cycles, nourishes our spiritual fire, grounding us in the present and guiding us toward a life of harmony and connection. Principle 8. Focus on ethical living. Ethical living is at the heart of Buddhism, guiding us toward a life of harmony, integrity, and peace. It is more than adhering to a set of rules. It is about embodying values that shape who we are and how we interact with the world. As Buddha taught, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. This profound wisdom highlights the powerful connection between our thoughts and the reality we create. By cultivating ethical principles in our thoughts, words, and actions, we not only transform our own lives, but also positively impact those around us. The foundation of ethical living in Buddhism. Buddhist ethical living is rooted in the understanding that every action, word, and thought carries consequences. This principle is summed up in the law of karma, which teaches that our deeds create ripples that inevitably return to us. Positive actions bring harmony and joy, while harmful actions lead to discord and suffering. By living ethically, we align ourselves with the natural laws of cause and effect, fostering a life of balance and peace. The path of ethical living involves following principles such as honesty, compassion, and respect for all living beings. These principles are not mere guidelines, but profound practices that shape our inner world and our relationships with others. By adhering to these values, we cultivate a life of integrity that shields us from negativity and provides a clear conscience. The power of thoughts and intentions. Ethical living begins in the mind. Buddha's teaching that the mind is everything underscores the importance of our thoughts in shaping our reality. If our thoughts are rooted in kindness, honesty, and understanding, our actions will naturally follow suit. Conversely, thoughts of anger, greed, or deceit lead to actions that harm ourselves and others. Practicing mindfulness helps us become aware of our thoughts and intentions. It enables us to pause before acting, ensuring that our actions are aligned with our values. By cultivating positive thoughts and letting go of harmful ones, we build a foundation for ethical living that radiates outward into every aspect of our lives. Principles of ethical living. 1. Honesty. Honesty is a cornerstone of ethical living. By speaking truthfully and avoiding deceit, we build trust and reliability in our relationships. Honest communication fosters transparency, deepens connections, and strengthens our sense of integrity. For example, choosing to be honest in challenging situations, even when it is difficult, creates an atmosphere of trust. This not only benefits our relationships, but also reinforces our self-respect. 2. Kindness and compassion. Acts of kindness and compassion create ripples of positivity that benefit both the giver and the receiver. Simple gestures, like helping a neighbor, comforting a friend, or showing empathy to someone in need, bring joy and fulfillment to our lives. Compassion also extends to understanding others' struggles. When we respond to others with kindness, even in the face of negativity, we cultivate patience and resilience. This approach reduces conflict and promotes harmonious coexistence. 3. Respect for all living beings. Respecting all forms of life, including animals and the environment, fosters a sense of interconnectedness and responsibility. Recognizing that we are part of a greater whole inspires us to live sustainably and considerately. This respect strengthens our bond with the world and reinforces the importance of harmony. 4. Avoiding harmful actions. Ethical living involves avoiding actions that cause harm, such as lying, stealing, or engaging in violence. These actions not only hurt others, but also disturb our inner peace. By practicing self-restraint and making thoughtful choices, we prevent negative consequences and maintain a clear conscience. Practical applications of ethical living. Ethical living is not an abstract concept. It is a daily practice that shapes our lives and the lives of those around us. Here are practical ways to integrate these principles into everyday life. 1. Avoiding gossip. Gossip can lead to misunderstandings and conflict, harming relationships and spreading negativity. By refraining from gossip, we preserve trust and keep our minds free from unnecessary distractions. 2. Practicing forgiveness. Choosing forgiveness over holding grudges releases us from the burdens of anger and resentment. Forgiveness allows us to move forward with a lighter heart, fostering peace and reconciliation. It strengthens our emotional resilience and deepens our connections with others. 3. Engaging in acts of service. Volunteering or helping others, even in small ways, reinforces the principle of compassion. Acts of service not only benefit others, but also bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment to our own lives. 4. Making ethical choices in consumption. Choosing products and practices that align with our values, such as supporting sustainable businesses, reducing waste, and avoiding harm to animals, reflects our commitment to respect and responsibility. Benefits of ethical living. Ethical living offers profound benefits that enrich our lives on every level. 1. Inner peace and clarity. Living in alignment with our values reduces feelings of guilt and regret. A clear conscience allows us to approach life's challenges with calmness and focus. 2. Stronger relationships. Ethical behavior builds trust and mutual respect, fostering deeper and more meaningful connections with others. Relationships rooted in honesty and kindness are resilient and supportive. 3. Resilience and self-respect. By practicing self-discipline and making thoughtful choices, we strengthen our moral character and resilience. This inner strength helps us navigate life's complexities with confidence and grace. 4. Positive karma. Ethical living creates positive karma, leading to harmony and happiness. By planting seeds of kindness and honesty, we reap the rewards of a life filled with peace and fulfillment. 5. A sense of purpose. Living ethically gives us a sense of purpose as we know our actions contribute to the greater good. This purpose sustains us through difficult times and inspires us to strive for excellence, creating a ripple effect. Our ethical behavior not only transforms our own lives, but also inspires others to follow suit. By living with integrity, we set an example for our family, friends, and community. This ripple effect encourages a society that values moral principles, fostering a culture of kindness, respect, and compassion. For instance, a simple act of honesty or kindness can influence someone else to act similarly, creating a chain reaction of positive actions. This interconnectedness highlights the power of ethical living to bring about meaningful change in the world. A life of meaning and fulfillment. Ethical living, as taught in Buddhism, is a path to a life of meaning, fulfillment, and resilience. It is not about rigidly following rules, but about embodying values that define who we are and how we interact with the world. By focusing on honesty, compassion, and respect, we create a foundation for inner peace and harmonious relationships. As Buddha's teaching reminds us, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. By cultivating positive thoughts and living ethically, we shape our lives into reflections of our highest values. We become sources of inspiration and support, contributing to a world that is more compassionate and just. By integrating ethical living into our daily lives, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also create a ripple effect that uplifts those around us. In doing so, we build a life that is resilient, harmonious, and deeply fulfilling. A life that is both a testament to our values and a gift to the world. Principle 9. Practice gratitude. Practicing gratitude is one of the most transformative principles in life, with deep roots in Buddhist teachings. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, helping us appreciate the blessings that surround us. This simple change in perspective can profoundly impact our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, bringing greater peace, joy, and resilience. As Buddha said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little." This quote reminds us that no matter how challenging a day may seem, there is always something to be thankful for. Whether it's a small act of kindness, a lesson learned, or simply the ability to start anew, gratitude invites us to find value in every moment. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude changes how we see and experience the world. It encourages us to focus on abundance rather than scarcity, and to cherish the positives even amidst challenges. While it doesn't eliminate life's difficulties, it helps us approach them with a balanced and resilient mindset. When we practice gratitude regularly, we train our minds to notice and appreciate the good around us. This shift not only reduces stress and negativity, but also fosters a deeper sense of contentment. Instead of getting caught up in what's going wrong, we begin to see the beauty and blessings in the present moment. For example, consider a stressful day where nothing seems to go as planned. Gratitude might remind us to appreciate the support of a kind colleague, the warmth of a meal shared with loved ones, or the simple act of taking a deep breath to pause and reset. These small moments, often overlooked, can be powerful sources of joy and strength when we learn to recognize them. Gratitude in everyday moments. Practicing gratitude involves acknowledging and appreciating even the simplest blessings in our lives. These might include a beautiful sunrise or sunset. Nature's rhythms offer moments of wonder and serenity. The laughter of a loved one, a reminder of the joy that relationships bring to our lives. A warm home or a nourishing meal, everyday comforts that nurture our body and soul. Acts of kindness from others. Whether it's a friend's support or a stranger's generosity, these moments strengthen our connections to others. When we take the time to notice and savor these experiences, we foster a positive outlook that enriches our daily lives. Gratitude as a shield against negativity. One of gratitude's most powerful effects is its ability to shield us from negativity and stress. By focusing on the good in our lives, we create a mental buffer against the challenges and disappointments that arise. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist. Rather, it's about balancing them with an awareness of the positives. For example, if we face a difficult situation at work, gratitude might help us appreciate the lessons we're learning or the support of colleagues who stand by us. If we encounter personal struggles, it might remind us of the strength and resilience we've cultivated over time. Over time, gratitude helps develop a resilient mindset. When challenges arise, we are better equipped to navigate them without being overwhelmed by negativity. This perspective empowers us to approach life's ups and downs with a sense of balance and calm. Strengthening relationships through gratitude. Gratitude is also a powerful tool for building and deepening relationships. When we express appreciation to others, we strengthen bonds and foster a sense of connection and mutual respect. Simple acts of gratitude, thanking a friend for their support, recognizing a colleague's efforts, or appreciating a partner's kindness can create a more positive and harmonious social environment. Expressing gratitude doesn't have to be grand or elaborate. Small gestures, such as a heartfelt thank you or a thoughtful note, can have a profound impact. These acts of appreciation not only uplift the recipient, but also reinforce our own feelings of connection and goodwill. Incorporating gratitude into daily life. Cultivating gratitude is a practice that grows stronger with consistency. There are many simple and effective ways to integrate it into our daily routines. 1. Keep a gratitude journal. Write down 3 to 5 things you're thankful for each day. These could be big events or small moments, like enjoying a good meal or hearing a kind word. Over time, this practice trains your mind to focus on the positives. 2. Practice gratitude meditation. Spend a few minutes each day reflecting on the things you're grateful for. As you meditate, visualize these blessings and allow yourself to feel a deep sense of appreciation. 3. Engage in mindful observation. Pay close attention to your surroundings and the people in your life. Notice the beauty of nature, the kindness of strangers, or the joy in small everyday moments. This mindfulness helps you stay present and grateful. 4. Express gratitude to others. Make it a habit to thank the people in your life, Whether it's a quick message, a note of appreciation, or a thoughtful gesture, expressing gratitude strengthens your relationships and spreads positivity. 5. Acts of kindness. Gratitude can also be expressed through actions. Helping someone in need, offering a kind word, or supporting a loved one are all ways to demonstrate thankfulness and create a ripple effect of positivity. Gratitude. During difficult times. Practicing gratitude is especially important during challenging times. When life feels overwhelming, gratitude serves as a reminder that even in hardship, there are things to appreciate. This perspective provides comfort and hope, helping us navigate difficulties with greater resilience. For instance, during a period of loss or uncertainty, gratitude might help us focus on the love and support of friends and family, the strength we've built over time, or the lessons we're learning through adversity. These reminders anchor us, preventing us from being swept away by negativity. Gratitude doesn't erase pain or hardship, but it allows us to find light even in the darkest moments. It helps us maintain a sense of peace and contentment, knowing that life's challenges are temporary and that blessings can still be found. The benefits of practicing gratitude. Regularly practicing gratitude offers numerous benefits for our mental, emotional, and social well-being. Improved mental health. Gratitude reduces stress, anxiety, and depression by shifting our focus to positive aspects of life. Greater emotional resilience. It helps us cope with challenges by fostering a balanced and optimistic mindset. Stronger relationships. Expressing gratitude deepens connections and creates a supportive, harmonious social environment. Enhanced self-awareness. By reflecting on our blessings, we gain a greater understanding of what truly matters to us. Increased joy and contentment. Gratitude amplifies our sense of happiness and fulfillment, helping us live more fully in the present moment. A mindset of abundance. By integrating gratitude into our daily lives, we cultivate a mindset of abundance and positivity. This mindset helps us remain unaffected by challenges and negativity, allowing us to live with greater peace and joy. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's difficulties. It's about recognizing that even amidst struggle, there is beauty and goodness to be found. As Buddha's words remind us, let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. This perspective encourages us to approach each day with openness and appreciation, finding value in every experience. By practicing gratitude, we not only transform our own lives, but also inspire and uplift those around us. In doing so, we create a ripple effect of positivity that extends far beyond ourselves, contributing to a more compassionate and harmonious world. Gratitude, then, is not just a personal practice, it is a powerful force for collective well-being. Principle 10. Trust the process and let go of control. Trusting the process and letting go of the need to control everything is a fundamental Buddhist principle that brings profound peace and freedom. It invites us to embrace life as it unfolds, without clinging to specific outcomes or rigid expectations. This principle, rooted in Buddha's teaching, the root of suffering is attachment, highlights how our desire to cling to people, things, or outcomes often leads to unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. Letting go doesn't mean we abandon effort or stop caring about our goals. Rather, it means we focus on doing our best while releasing the tight grip on how things must turn out. This shift in mindset allows us to approach life with greater serenity and adaptability, trusting that everything will unfold as it's meant to, even if it doesn't align with our exact vision. The root of suffering. Attachment often stems from our desire for control. the belief that we can shape circumstances and people to meet our expectations. While this might seem reasonable, it sets us up for suffering when life inevitably diverges from our plans. Attachments create a false sense of stability, and when these attachments are challenged or lost, we experience anxiety, frustration, or grief. Consider a job opportunity we desperately want, or a relationship we envision unfolding in a particular way. When things don't go as we hoped, the attachment to that specific outcome can lead to disappointment and stress. Trusting the process means recognizing that life is fluid and unpredictable. Instead of resisting, we learn to flow with it, opening ourselves to unexpected possibilities and deeper peace. Letting go and trusting the flow. Imagine being in a river. If you swim against the current, you exhaust yourself and make little progress. But when you trust the river's flow, you conserve energy and move effortlessly. Life works in much the same way. Resisting its natural rhythm leads to tension, while surrendering to the flow brings ease. Trusting the process is not about passivity. It means giving our full effort while accepting that the results are beyond our control. It's a balance of action and surrender, doing our best and then releasing attachment to the outcome. This mindset reduces stress and helps us approach life's challenges with greater resilience. Applying trust in everyday life. The principle of trusting the process can be applied to many areas of life, from relationships and careers to personal challenges and self-growth. Relationships, letting go of expectations. In relationships, we often try to control how others behave or how situations unfold. This attachment to expectations can lead to frustration and conflict. By letting go, we allow relationships to evolve naturally. Instead of trying to mold people to fit our ideals, we can appreciate them for who they are. For example, in a friendship or romantic relationship, trying to change someone to meet our expectations often creates tension. Trusting the process means accepting people as they are and allowing the relationship to grow organically. This approach fosters harmony, mutual respect, and deeper connections. Career, embracing uncertainty. In our careers, we might cling to a specific vision of success, becoming disheartened if we encounter obstacles or detours. Trusting the process teaches us to see setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. Sometimes what appears to be a failure is a stepping stone to a more fulfilling path. For instance, being passed over for a promotion might initially feel discouraging, but this experience could lead to valuable self-reflection, skill building, or a new opportunity that aligns more closely with our passions. By letting go of rigid career expectations, we remain open to unexpected possibilities and personal growth. Personal challenges, adapting to change. Life's challenges, such as health issues, financial difficulties, or unexpected changes, often test our ability to let go of control. Trusting the process in these moments involves accepting what we cannot change and focusing on what we can. For example, someone dealing with a chronic illness might initially resist the limitations it imposes. By letting go of resistance and adapting to the new reality, they can find peace and even discover new joys, such as hobbies or connections they wouldn't have explored otherwise. Living in the present moment. Trusting the process also means embracing the present moment. When we fixate on the future or dwell on the past, we miss the beauty and richness of the here and now. Living in the present allows us to fully engage with life, appreciating its small joys and finding contentment in the moment. This practice encourages patience and faith in life's timing. For example, if a goal seems out of reach, instead of becoming frustrated, we can focus on the progress we're making today. Each small step becomes meaningful, and we learn to trust that the larger picture will unfold as it's meant to. The practice of letting go. Letting go and trusting the process is a skill that requires mindfulness and self-awareness. Here are practical ways to cultivate this mindset. 1. Mindful awareness. Pay attention to moments when you feel the urge to control outcomes. Pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself to focus on the present moment. Reflect on whether your attachment is serving or hindering you. 2. Reframe challenges. When faced with setbacks, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Viewing challenges as opportunities for growth helps you release resistance and embrace change. 3. Meditation on non-attachment. Regular meditation can help you practice letting go. Visualize releasing your grip on specific outcomes, imagining them floating away like leaves on a stream. 4. Affirmations and reminders. Use affirmations like, I trust the process of life, or I release the need to control everything. These reminders can help you cultivate a mindset of surrender and trust. 5. Focus on effort, not outcomes. Shift your attention to the effort you're putting in rather than fixating on results. Trust that your actions will lead to the best possible outcome, even if it's not what you initially envisioned. The freedom of trust. By trusting the process, we free ourselves from the mental and emotional burdens of overthinking and over-controlling. This freedom allows us to experience life with greater joy and less anxiety. We begin to see that our peace does not depend on external circumstances, but on our ability to flow with life as it unfolds. Non-attachment doesn't mean we stop caring. On the contrary, it enables us to care deeply without being overwhelmed by outcomes. It allows us to engage fully in life while maintaining inner balance. When we trust the process, we find the strength to face uncertainties with grace and the clarity to adapt to whatever comes our way. The peace of trusting the process. Trusting the process aligns us with the natural rhythm of life. It teaches us to release our grip on what we cannot control and to embrace the present moment with an open heart. This practice fosters resilience, patience, and faith in the journey, helping us navigate life's complexities with confidence and peace. As Buddha said, you only lose what you cling to. By letting go of attachments and trusting the process, we cultivate a sense of freedom and inner strength. We discover that true peace comes not from controlling life, but from flowing with it. This perspective allows us to live with greater ease, joy, and fulfillment, no matter what life brings. Integrating all 10 principles. Bringing these 10 Buddhist principles into our daily lives allows us to cultivate a mindset of balance, resilience, and inner peace. Each principle, whether it's practicing gratitude, ethical living, or trusting the process, teaches us to respond to life with wisdom and compassion rather than reactivity. Together, they form a framework for living harmoniously with ourselves and the world around us. The cornerstone of these teachings is the understanding that true peace comes from within. When we align our thoughts, actions, and intentions with these principles, we develop the ability to remain calm and composed, regardless of external circumstances. This inner stability empowers us to navigate life's challenges with grace and to experience joy in the present moment. By integrating these principles, we create a ripple effect, positively influencing not just our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance, ethical living strengthens relationships, and trusting the process brings freedom from unnecessary stress. Each principle complements the others, forming a holistic approach to personal growth and harmony. Thank you for engaging with these timeless teachings. As you continue to practice and embody them, you contribute to a more compassionate and peaceful world. Don't forget to share this wisdom with others who are also seeking tranquility and inner peace. Together, we can create a ripple of positivity and mindfulness that extends far beyond ourselves. May your journey toward peace and fulfillment be steady, joyful, and deeply rewarding.